You're in an incredible match today, a brilliant performance for you, your control, your passings and an assist to help Eze to that hat-trick. A very special day.
A very special day indeed, yeah. But it has to be a special day because we're playing Tottenham, and I think you could tell by the crowd, the energy and the noise, and I think also the energy of the guys. It was amazing today, and I think we did it together as one unity, and yeah, still need to breathe a bit, you know, after everything that happened. But enjoy tonight, recover from here, and then Wednesday again, big game.
It's a fairy tale story. A player and as a release from the academy calls up Arteta, says, "Is there any chance I can actually move to you?" Of course, he didn't move to Tottenham. But Tallis, you found him for the assist in training. Is he one of the players you all look for?
Yeah, I think so. I think everyone knows the amazing qualities he has as a player. I think he shows it on the pitch. Today was his day. Don't think it's a coincidence. This guy always works hard, and I think everyone loves him. His character is great. He falls into the group perfectly. What I say is, I don't think it's a coincidence. Maybe some people are surprised, but we know what he's capable of, and I'm happy he showed that today for us.
The first Arsenal player to score a hat-trick in a North London derby since 1978.
Is it? That's amazing. I'm very happy for him. Yeah, that guy showed it today, but he's a quality player, he's a quality person, and I hope many more goals for him to come, and also for us.
It's so big that we've barely mentioned Nketiah coming in for Big Gabby. It shows the experience you all have at the back and what connection you have to not miss him today. But how well did he do too?
I think he was amazing. I think he did great. He won all his duels. The energy he brings into the team. Obviously, it's not easy to replace Gabriel. Everyone knows how important he is for us. And the way he did it today in a game like this, I think incredible.
And a 6-point lead after dropping a point in the last match, and the way the goals were scored. What does this tell us about your potential to win the title? This is a statement, isn't it?
It's still early. I think we're in November. We just got to focus on the next game, and I think that's the mentality. Today was great for the supporters. We know how important this game is. Now we focus on the Champions League, and then again is such a tough game coming up. So game by game, and then from there we'll see where we end up in May.
Give me a smile. Thank you.
Leandro joining us. Do you mind just stepping this way, Leandro? Sorry. Can we have you perhaps this side? There you go. Perfect. There we go. I think we've got a microphone for you as well, individually, so you don't... There you go. You can pass it on. Perfect. First of all, congratulations on what has been a fantastic North London derby. 3 points in the bag, and extending the lead at the top of the table as well. It took a bit of patience from your side. You broke the deadlock here. I mean, but it was all guns a-blazing, isn't it? Can I talk to you first and foremost about your goal from your perspective? I've got your clip here, if you don't mind. Just kind of talk us through what's happening here.
Yeah, the moment Mikel gets the ball, I'm trying to run him behind. He sees me. It's such a nice ball, and then I try to get my shot off, and it goes in. And yeah, I'm so happy with it because, as you said, it breaks the deadlock. And from that moment on, I think we tried to create so many chances. We were dominant all over the pitch, and I think it was such a good game from us.
Did it feel like a lift-off moment for the team from that goal onwards?
Yeah, a little bit, because obviously it's still Spurs, but they came here to defend, I think, with the back five, and it was up to us to break them down, and with that goal we did it, and after that I think the chances came and we took our goals. Yeah.
Were you surprised how defensive they were? Because we were surprised, you know, with a set with the back five, and in the first half I thought they were really poor. Were you surprised that they didn't offer anything more?
Yeah, maybe a bit, because, as I said, it's still Spurs, but we have been facing a back five a lot of times this season, so we're kind of used to it. But and at the end of the day, I think it's a really, really good performance from us. And yeah, we could have scored even more, I think, but we're really happy with the result.
Is that something that you work hard on the training ground, breaking down? Because teams will come here, play a low block against you, and you have to be patient at times like you were today.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's the key, to be patient, not to rush things. If teams come here to sit down and try to defend as much, it's just up to us. I think if everyone's at it, we can break down any team, and that starts with patience.
I think Spurs came here with the best away record. Was it a surprise that they sat in a low block? Was you surprised with it?
Yeah, as I said, maybe a little bit, yeah. But I think our home record at the moment is also really good, and the way we play, and we just need to look at ourselves. If everyone's at it, I think we can win every game, but we have to do it.
Does that show how much respect teams are giving you when they come here and sit in? Do you feel like you gaining respect from the opposition when you see that?
Yeah, sure. I think, as I said, the last couple of weeks we have been facing a lot of back fives, so it's up to us to break them down, either as a back 4 or 5, but I think we're on a really good run, and we need to keep going.
Well done, mate.
I think it's a bigger 3 points here this weekend for you, also because Manchester City dropped points last night. But how much in this title race, how much have you kept an eye on what happened at St James's Park yesterday, or is it just focusing on what you guys are doing?
I think everyone will watch that game, but as I said, at the moment we need to focus at ourselves. And I think we've been on a really good run, but it's still very early on in the season. But
Did it give you incentive to want to extend the lead today?
Yeah, I think so. We always want to win every game, but and especially with the game today, the North London Derby, what we wanted to give back to the fans. I think the atmosphere was so good, and that pushed us as well. And yeah, you could see it was great.
Well, it's a big week for you as well, not just here today. Bayern Munich in midweek, and then Chelsea at the weekend. Hopes for a perfect 7 days then.
Yeah, for sure. Let's enjoy tonight, and then we will work from tomorrow on to Wednesday.
All right, perfect. Thank you so much, Leandro.
Thank you.
Congrats again on the goal and the victory,
and
all the best for the rest of the season.
Congratulations.
Eberechi Eze got a hat-trick, and the very simple question for you, Gary, is how good are Arsenal?
Very good. A lot to like about them. I think that over the last few years they've been building towards obviously trying to win a title, and they haven't won that title yet, but they do a lot of things very well. And I think the narrative going into today's game, which I wasn't even entertaining sort of in the last 48 hours, is this, without Gabriel, or Gabriel's injured. No one's interested anymore. Arsenal fans aren't interested. Mikel Arteta is not interested. And what they've demonstrated again today is they've now got a squad that can cope without players being fit. And you know during a season, at the start of a season, you know that certain players are going to miss certain games. And so we've seen Nketiah come in today, slot in really comfortably. Mosquera's done it throughout the season. So don't let that narrative build. Nobody's interested in excuses. We heard last year he had no Saka, Ødegaard, the year before, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, no Saliba. No, now he's not that Arsenal team. The mentality is such that they've moved beyond that period whereby they sort of are looking for excuses or might think that it could impact them if a player's missing. They've got a really good squad. Their drop-off between player number 1 in the team and player number 2 who comes in if that player's missing is small. Declan Rice would be a problem, but then he's an exceptional talent and someone who's very different. But today I thought they were excellent all over the pitch. I'm not an Arsenal fan, I'm not a Tottenham fan, but watching that first 25 minutes, I was almost willing Arsenal to sort of go and play and go and if he kept hearing me in that first 25, 30 minutes about pushing it through and not getting caught up in these safe passes. I think sometimes when you watch Arsenal, they dominate possession, they push up the pitch, they really sort of like sustain attacks and push teams in, but they recycle the ball at that point then sometimes too easy and take the safe option. I thought what they did well in that first half was they kept pushing it through into Eze, into Saka, into Trossard, because that's what Tottenham don't want you to do. And every time they did that, they caused problems. It wasn't a lot in the first half, but the 2 or 3 times they did it, they got through them. And Tottenham will come on to them obviously shortly, but they're a team waiting to get beaten by a very good Arsenal team, and that's what Arsenal did. And after what happened yesterday with Liverpool and with City, it was a much needed victory today, and they've sent a message to everybody in the league.
What struck me, and you're talking about Nketiah coming in specifically today for Gabriel and a player for every position or 2 players, when Madueke came on late, you thought, they've got him too, and Martinelli was back on the bench today, and Ødegaard is there, and Gabriel Jesus, we're told, isn't that far away.
I forgot about him.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Havertz and Gyökeres.
Exactly, and I'm looking at the way that team's performing and thinking, who are you leaving out of this team?
It's not only a squad that should go on and win the Premier League, and I'm not jumping ahead of myself here, it's a squad that I can see winning the Champions League in the next 2 or 3 years. Might not be this season, because sometimes when you go in to win your first Premier League, you become so consumed by that, and then you can sometimes get done in a European game in a midweek on a two-legged tie. But they're getting to that level of performance and resilience and stability and consistency. You have to be consistent. It's a very consistent performing team, this one, that Mikel Arteta's got. And you're absolutely right. I mean, Trossard, who I thought was sensational today. I mean, Saka was as well, and so was Eze. But Trossard was fantastic. And he's been fantastic, I think, for most of the last couple of months. And he was the one, when you think of Madueke, Martinelli, Eze, Ødegaard, Saka, you're thinking, well, he's the one that's definitely going to fall away. He's the one that will be used maybe 10, 15 games this season, but he's pushed himself into a position. He's a really intelligent player. He knows how to play the position of left-sided forward, stroke midfield player. But Mikel Arteta, like I say, you've got players, when you've got a squad that are really sort of pushing each other. You know, Madueke looked really sharp when he came on. He didn't do much in terms of impacting the game, but you looked at him and thought, ooh, that's going to be dangerous. And you look at Eze, just looked at the end of the game like he looked Brazilian at the end of the game, Eze, when he was sort of wandering around the pitch. Beautiful to see that confidence in an English player. You know, you think of Brazilians going around the pitch doing that, and South American players with their sort of mentality of sort of enjoying their football and their love of sort of what would be almost taking my podcast. I'm not.
Your podcast.
I've just said it. But he was at the end. He was a little bit. And yeah, it was brilliant to watch. I loved watching them, and that's the thing. I mean, the interesting thing is they've got Calafiore and Timber at fullbacks. Miles Lewis-Skelly and Ben White are probably better going forward. There was not much between Ben White and Timber. Miles Lewis-Skelly, I think, is obviously better than Calafiore going forward, but they've got real options at fullback, real options at centre-back. That's it. The only player you'd be slightly worried about losing for a period of time would be Declan Rice, because you can't replace that. That's your Roy Keane, that's your sort of Rodri. That's the player that sort of holds you together. That you know, there's only one of them. So you wouldn't expect there to be a situation, but they have got options if obviously he wasn't there, but he would never be able to replace the ability for him to be powerful on set pieces, his running, his tackling, his impacting the game going forward. Yeah, but really happy with Arsenal watching them this season. I like watching good teams play football. And I think at times, they've been a bit safe. And it was that Newcastle game, wasn't it, where I think Mikel Arteta just got the team balanced right. He went to Anfield and he played a game against City where I just thought he was a little bit handbrake on, and I accused him of that at the time. He's now getting that balance right of the flair in the team and the confidence. And it's the intent. It's the intent. Don't keep passing it back. Don't keep passing it sideways. You're better than that. You've got players up the top end of the pitch, probably 7 or 8 of them, by the way. It doesn't matter which of them play. You can pass it to these players when they're marked. You can give it to Saka with a 6'4" centre-half behind him. He'll hold the 6'4" centre-half off. He won't just hold him off. He'll roll him. He'll go one way, he'll go that way, and he'll take it inside. And that's what opens up the game. Passing the ball to players who are marked, who've got world-class ability, is what this Arsenal team need to have confidence to do. And I'm seeing that more and more, and particularly today. He didn't score from a set-piece today. In fact, to be fair, the set-piece is probably the worst I've seen from them. But their open play game today, which they've been accused of obviously lacking, it was really good, and that was good to see. And I think they'll get better and they'll get more confident. Yeah, a lot to like about what Arsenal did today.
And just finally, I mean, we ought to ask you to give an appraisal, never mind the fancy stuff at the end, of Eze's game.
Look, before today, I think he had 2 goals in 15 matches. And he's going to play for Arsenal Football Club, that's had Perez and Bergkamp and Ian Wright and Henry, and many, many more. So he's got to add numbers. And what he did today was really important. Impacting big games, scoring in big games. He's now got 5 in 16. He's now got 4 Premier League goals in 10 matches. They're the sort of numbers you have to hit if you're playing for Arsenal Football Club. And so what he's got to do is, we know he's a fantastic player. I think he's better in the 10. I love him in the 10. I love him in the 10 because I love Ødegaard in the 10. So it's 2 great options to have. But why I like him in the 10 is I think he's got the ability to beat a man with the ball at his feet. And I think he's got the ability to sort of go and do something that's more unpredictable maybe than Ødegaard. Ødegaard's a beautiful player to watch. I think the rhythm in his game and the way in which he plays is fantastic. But I really like Eze in there because I think this Arsenal team just need to be a little bit more unpredictable in the final third. So when you've got Saka there, you've got Eze there, you've got obviously a centre-forward, whoever that may be. It's going to be Gyökeres, Marino or Havertz. they're not the most flair. They're never going to be flair players, those three up front. So it's important to have them players around you. Obviously, Trossard or Martinelli or Madueke can be the other one on the left. It's important to have that sort of excitement, that thrill, that idea that the team that you're playing against don't know what you're going to do and they're going to pop up in different areas, and he can, if it's tight, which it will be for Arsenal many times here when teams are behind the ball, he can go and beat a man with the ball at his feet. He can run without the ball and make runs in behind. So I like him as a 10. But those numbers are important. He's going to focus on that finishing. His finishes were really good today. A little bit of luck, I think, with the first one with the deflection. But his third one was beautiful. And he could have got a fourth as well. So really special day. Sometimes when a player signs for a club, it just feels right. And from the moment he walked out, as you said in the commentary, with that, with those jeans on, with that smile, and the Arsenal fans around him, it just felt warm. It felt good. And you know, you think about a player who's so happy. His family, I think, were all with him as well. So yeah, I think it is working, and it's going to work more. But what he just needs to do now is become a cold-hearted, ruthless killer in front of goal, like he has been today. Go and score goals, because that's where you'll be judged. If you're going to be a number 10 for this football club in a title-winning season and in a Champions League winning team, you're going to have to get up to that 15, 20 goals, and he can, and he will, I think.